Joela, Dumelang, Absheni, Sanbonani, Hazits. Kina Jacob Mushukwa, driving in the fairest of the Western Cape. And you might have seen the thumbnail and you're wondering, why do they have a 2008 Mini Cooper S there? So we are going to see if the newer Mini Coopers are also fun and funky and zippy to drive. And if they're not, we're going to tell you about it. And when I say we, I mean Chiro de Siena will be joining this video, wherever he is, if I can find him.
Think of a car, any car. Yes, Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.
So I won't bore you too much with all the Mini details you need to know, but long story short, brand Mini goes as far back as 1959. That's when the first Mini hit the market. And that shape of the Mr. Bean Nanana shape, it was about 40 or 50 years of that. Then, as you know, in the early 2000s, BMW acquired Mini, and ever since then, the modern Mini hit the market. So we are driving the modern Mini. What I gotta tell you is how they've managed to keep the dials and the fun stuff about the car right throughout. Because this was, of course, the next generation. The kind of car that it gives you thrills just by driving and handling. Go-kart feel is what you'd say for the car. But looks department, these cars, they're just gorgeous. What you get up front is a 1.6 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it gives you 128 kilowatts of power. You may think that's a little by modern day standards, but flashback to 2008. If you had this punchy car where you can actually feel that turbo come in on the car, you can actually feel the gears when you are changing through the car. This car feels like it's on the ground, it feels planted. It makes for a fun and enjoyable drive. So much so that you sort of forget that this car has a Peugeot engine. And mind you, this has 183,000 kilometers on the clock. So the car has been driven. There's nothing wrong with buying a high miler. As long as the car is being looked after, and it's going to continue being looked after, there's nothing wrong. There really is nothing wrong with this car. It's quite an enjoyable drive overall. Surprisingly, this car is very fuel efficient, 8.3 liters per 100 kilometers, which is very good. Obviously, it's out of warranty or motor plan, so general maintenance is all on you. Cool, so heading to the office now to meet up with Chiro de Siena. He's going to give us his 2 cents about this car, what he thinks overall about this car.
Right, Jacob, thanks for giving me the keys. Now, I drove one of these a long time ago, very quickly, didn't have a long stint in it. So this is sort of my first proper drive of this car. And immediately what I'm impressed with for a car from 2008. So how old is that? That's 20 plus 8, 17 years old. It feels taut. Everything feels really taut in here, to quote Gold Member. I'm really impressed by that actually. Box feels good, no rattles or squeaks. I love the steering feel, nice and light and direct. And of course, Minis are known for their go-kart handling. In fact, in the new ones, there's actually a go-kart mode. So they've really taken to that sort of side of things, that sort of description. So my colleague and esteemed motoring journalist, Hannes Oosthuizen, bought this car himself with his own money. Quite a rare thing for a motoring journalist to do. And his son's about to turn 18 and he wanted to get his son a little Zooty manual, keep the budget down. So he bought this 08 with 180 on the clock for 120,000 Rand. And it really is in very, very good condition. It was looked after very nicely. And what can you buy for 120 grand? You can't even buy a crashed Renault Kwid for that price. In fact, maybe if Renault Kwid wasn't a crash, it would actually improve it. You know how when something's broken and you drop it and it fixes it? Anyway, I digress. I said to him, Hannes, you sure you want that generation? Because it was the 1.6 turbo motor which BMW developed with Peugeot and Citroën, and it's quite widely renowned to be a really awful engine that just gives lots of headaches. However, the car was running pretty good. He then took it to Magic Alec, our mechanic who does all our cars, wonderful dude, and he assessed the car and he said, look, let's do a little bit of like preventative maintenance here. Nothing's actually totally broken, but you want this car to go for a long time. You want it to be reliable because your son's going to be in it. So let's do the Vanos, let's do tappet cover gaskets, and let's do the water pump. Now, how crazy is this? The whole Vanos kit was $6.5 grand, OEM part. The water pump, 12.5 grand. So they did all the filters, oil change, and basically Hannes has put about 30k into the car with some labor. But Magic Alec himself told me that this car should go forever now. So it seems like if you get the car at a fair price and it's generally in good condition, getting this engine right doesn't actually cost that much. I mean, 120 purchase price, 30k on top, great little reliable fun car to drive. I think that's a win, I really do. Look, buying cars is all about your appetite for risk. If you don't want any risk, buy a new car with a warranty, and any of the headaches is the dealer's problem. If you've got more of an appetite for risk, buy a used car and just accept that you're going to have to fix some stuff and the car could explode. So you got to be very careful when you shop. If you like gambling, buy on auction. So a quick little burn on Duval Drive, and man, what an awesome little car this is. It really is fun to drive. It sort of feels like a lot of manufacturers have forgotten that cars just need to be light and zippy, and then they don't need a billion horsepower for you to enjoy yourself. So yeah, thumbs up from me on the old one. Do you know what's interesting about me finally driving this car is I actually don't like minis. I really don't. I think they're overpriced for what you get. I get that they're cool. You're paying for the cool factor. I just don't like these cars. And I'm going to reserve judgment until I've driven the new one. But I think actually this is a really cool little daily. I wouldn't mind having one of these if it wasn't a mini. Is that a different badge on it? I'm in.
And now we are rolling dirty in the brand new Mini Cooper S. This has got a very bright yellow color, which is quite attractive. And in fact, in terms of lines and sleekness, Mini still has it. That's just from a looks perspective. How it feels, the go-kart feel is still there. On the Cooper S now, we're dealing with a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. 150 kilowatts, 300 Newton meters of torque. Starting price of the Mini Cooper, and I'm not saying S, just Mini Cooper 3-door. You're looking at 600,000 Rand. Then you get Cooper S. Now it starts getting closer to the 700s. Then you get this spec Cooper S. I'm talking about these gold wheels. There's beautiful gold plating around the grille. It's got these really cool headlights. And the seats, the sunroof, well, when they start adding up, This car alone, as you see it, 768,000 Rand. Now you're thinking, what can I get with that kind of money? Does an Audi A1 start appealing to you? Buy a Polo and get change. Oh man, this car is so nice cruising in traffic. I have to be completely honest. That old Mini was a bit too stiff. This has a softened feel and makes for easier city slicking. The older Mini was definitely more fun. This Mini seems a lot more practical, a lot more easy for day-to-day driving, specifically because of the gearbox setup. Once you get used to where all the buttons are, how to start the car, there's no straight gear shifter, it's just a little toggle here, and even your experiences, little toggle on the other side. Once you get used to that, this could be a really easy car to run around with.
Alrighty, back into the brand new Mini Cooper S. This is the 2-liter turbo, shared with a bunch of BMWs as well, actually built on the 1 Series chassis as well. And this is my first time driving this car. First impressions, very nice, quiet, rides very nicely. It's a lot more supple than the old one. You can feel the suspension technology has come a long way. The last one was pretty firm. This is comfy. This is a lovely sort of daily kind of feel to it, you know, but also something you can have fun in. Foot flat. Red line at 6,500. That was pretty quick. 0 to 106.6 seconds. It's nice and flat through the corners. No, the suspension's good, I must say. It's comfy and it's sporty. That's a really, really good compromise between those two things. It's quite difficult to get that right, but BMW is actually very good at doing that. We're averaging 9 to the 100, which, given we're driving quite enthusiastically, I don't think is that bad. Hannes's car averages 8.3. So, with an older car, potentially save a little bit of fuel, depending on how you drive. But still, you know, what's the depreciation on this thing going to be like, you know? And I'd imagine that not many of you out there who want one are actually going to finance this traditionally, because BMW and Mini have that very cool guaranteed future value scheme. I think it's called Select, which is probably the best way to buy one of these. So the way that works is you get mileage and condition limits, parameters. If you stay in the parameters, you just pay a monthly fee. And then at the end of the 3-year period, you can buy the car from them at the GFV rate, the guaranteed future value rate, or you just give the car back and you get into something else, or you walk away, or you swap it for something else at the dealership and just get into your next GFV contract. And that's how most people are buying premium cars these days from German brands, because they are really, really expensive. I think the new 1 Series came out, and I think the cheapest one is 713 before options. Financing like R1 million is expensive, you know, traditional way. I mean, think about this, right? Hannes's car costs less than the options on this car, 120 grand. He's put 40 in, and he could have bought 5 of them for the same price of this. You know, and just when one broke, just got into the next one. And one for each day of the week. Also, let's say Hannes bought the car for 120, and let's say the engine exploded and he had to put another 100 in. He's still in for less than a third of what this car costs. I mean, what Hannes got, I think, is an amazing little car at 120 grand. I'm not sure you're going to find a more fun car at that price point. When you consider the cheapest car in South Africa is a Renault Kwid or a Suzuki Espresso for, I think, 190 at the moment. Little Mini Cooper S turbo motor for 120 grand. Yeah, that's where my money would go.
Now we're sitting on the inside of the new Mini Cooper. We want to look at what's going on the inside. Chiro, what do you think?
I got a question for you first.
Uh-oh.
Do you like minis?
I'm okay with minis.
I don't like them. But I will give them credit. The interior is much improved over the years. The previous generation was too many lights. It looked like a slot machine, you know. This is a lot more minimal. I really like what they've done with it, actually. Wireless phone charger is very cool.
Yeah.
These switches are very cool. I think the word experiences is a bit much.
Oh, wait. You like these shifters?
Yeah, I quite do, actually.
I would have preferred a normal gear shifter.
Yeah. But where's the aircon controls? Do you have to?
You have to do it all on this.
Oh, man.
You have this as the centerpiece, right? And you don't have a little one. The old one had the mini speedometer in front.
And you have
you'd have to spec
heads-up display.
Heads-up display.
So you have to look here for your speed.
You have to look here for speed.
I don't like that. Do you know what I also don't like? Put your hands around that steering wheel. How's that girth, bro? I've got small hands like a carny. Can't even get it around that thing.
Tell me, what do you think of the fabrics?
I like it. It's apparently made from recycled materials like fishnets and that sort of thing. And then the leather is apparently vegan leather.
Vegan
I don't know
leather?
what that even means.
Okay, and then
Yeah, it's all
the
plastic.
slots and the lines here are a bit too much, but I think they're playing on the key.
Yeah.
Right? They got these lines running, but they go all the way. Then you've got this armrest, which has
doesn't
got
open.
no storage.
2 USB ports and a 12 volt. That's quite good.
So this is essentially this part here where you would,
Yeah.
Store.
Put something valuable maybe.
but it feels out of place.
Yeah, I think it might come out, but I don't want to try in case I break it. But the most important thing I think we have to test, right, is has rear seat legroom improved with the new generation? So are you in your driving position?
Yeah, this is my
Okay,
driving position.
So I'll take one for the team and I'll try get in the back.
This is going to be interesting. Okay.
Good. So this slides forward. Which is
Nice.
pretty cool.
So easy access for you.
So I can get in. It's a much bigger car than the previous model.
And you got in quite
So-
easy from here.
Yeah, that
That's
was
simple.
fine. That was
Okay.
fine. So can I get in? Is that your driving position, right?
Hang on. Let me get my driving position right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This feels like, this is my
right.
driving position. Are you in?
I feel like a contortionist in Cirque du Soleil.
Dude, you're struggling to breathe
Okay.
there. Are you okay?
All right, my knees are up against your seat, but I'm in. I don't think I can do long distance. Like if we're just going down to the shops, I'm okay. The thing is, when Justin, our director, is over 6 foot tall, when he put it in his driving position, there was precisely zero legroom. The chair was touching this chair. The back of your chair was touching this chair.
So it's pretty obvious that a 3-door Mini is not the one. If you're
Right.
family orientated, you need the 5-door Mini.
Yeah.
Because this is purely for mom and dad, and maybe if you've got 2 youngsters, toddlers maybe.
There is ISOFIX back here, but I'm sure someone like Juliet Maguire would tell you that getting an ISOFIX seat into the back here, then getting your toddler into that seat will be close on impossible. So I think, as you said, rightly so, if you've got a family, get a 5-door Mini.
Yeah, get a 5-door Mini.
Let's give our lovely audience a conclusion. What do you say?
That's if you could get out of here, Chiro.
Hey bro, what you doing here?
Hey, how's it?
Stop messing around, do some work.
There we go. How
Right.
big is yours?
Boot test. My seats do fold flat, which helps, but you do only get 2 cooler boxes in there.
Okay, I also get 2.
Oh, that's not going well for you, bro.
But I have a party trick.
That's a very shallow boot. I love big boots, and I cannot lie. That's why I drive a sedan. I just killed Jacob.
And there we
Hey!
go. 1, 2.
Yeah.
And it should close.
All right.
Just wait.
The thing is, you'd hope the boot's bigger, right? Because the car's longer and wider. But it's not that much bigger, is it?
Not much of a difference between the two cars.
Can you take that shelf out?
Yes, and then you've got even more space.
Let me help you. Cooperate.
There we go. And look at that.
Okay. No, it's much bigger.
Now you got all the space, and you got your tire repair kit here, including a little pump, meaning there's no spare wheel. Thanks. It's very hot in the
Hot in
studio.
here,
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Spare wheel on yours too, or do you have no spare wheel?
Front flat.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
Pretty much the same car.
Right.
All right. Cheers.
Off for a sip.
Off we go. Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye. Don't forget your cooler box.
Do you know what I just noticed?
What?
Doesn't have a scoop.
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday.
No, man.
Mini Scoop
Best
was
part.
iconic part, and I really like the stripes on the Mini.
Yeah.
And now they don't have that
Oh,
anymore.
you probably it's an optional extra. So let's give everyone the details here. So maintenance plan was 5-year,
5-year,
100,000.
100,000 kilometer maintenance plan,
Maintenance.
and then 2-year unlimited kilometer warranty on the car.
But they'll look after you during the maintenance period. Base price 646. This one has 124,000 rand worth of options, taking it up to 678, which means that the options on this car cost more than this entire car. This car obviously doesn't have a warranty because it's from 2008. So here's the question, Jacob. Your money, what are you buying?
I'm buying the Mini in between.
What do you mean?
Like a Mini that is from 2014,
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, at around 300K, 350,000 Rand, I get a Mini in between.
The thing is, right, you've got something here where you could probably flip it, get your money back, right? It needs a bit of work. Obviously, Hannes has put in about 30, 40 grand, but it's sorted now. And here you're gonna feel depreciation, unless you buy it on a guaranteed future value scheme, right?
Which is exactly what people are gunning for these days.
Yeah.
It's just a very easy, no frills. 3 years later, you give the car back and you get a new one.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's likely the only way that people are going to be getting into Mini Coopers.
Yeah.
If you are paying the price that this car costs in this day and age, then you really love Mini Coopers.
But man, you could take 750 grand, bro. Go onto our site, Golf R, Golf GTI 7.5.
Because when you hit 700, you think of the 7.5R without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then you have a way more fun hatchback.
Yeah, exactly. And with 4 doors and proper back seats.
But people are buying the car for things like maintenance plans and warranties and all of that. So it is sort of a good offering if you really are a die-hard Mini fan.
Yeah, I think you either love Minis or you hate them. They're Marmite cars for me. But my money, I mean, you could buy 5 of these for the price of these. This for me is like 85% of the experience of that. It's like there's not a huge difference.
So in no way you'd be going here. Even with this beautiful bright yellow?
What's it called? A yellow bone or something?
Church says if you can't get a yellow bone, you can buy yourself one of these.
My money, I'm taking this car every time and putting the rest of that in my bond or something.
I totally agree with you. I have to agree with you. You're right.
There we go. Thanks very much for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Which one would you go for if it was your money? Thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Follow this guy on social media. It's pretty funny.
I'm not funny. He's the funny one. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Okay, ciao, bye!
What's the car with Cars.co.za? This is KG the Connect. The ground shakes when he revs his ride. It's the perfect praise song for a gassy king. Now think of a car, any car. Yes, we have it. Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.